before we start so that, okay, I think we are live.
Right.
So very warm welcome to all you wonderful educators. This is Sandeep Gulati representing Universal Mentors Association, welcoming you for the 5th episode of the Q&I presents the Talking Education TalkEd series. Uh, we have once again a Stella of Apparel today with us, and we are talking some really important topics to be discussed here today. First and foremost, I would like to thank the complete team of Q&I for supporting us and bringing together such a wonderful concept of talking education and uh, inviting such amazing educators on board. We are talking about today addressing the importance of promoting students' mental health and well-being in education. One of the most important topics, very close to my heart as well, and it's a pleasure to have some of the most renowned educators across the country. I think we have majorly covered the West Bengal part of the country where we have such amazing speakers with us. So without further ado, let me quickly go on and introduce our stellar panel for today. We have with us Mr. Anurag Chandra, who is the product head of Q&I. We'll also be joined by Mr. Akash Gautama, who's the academics head from Q&I. To moderate this amazing session, we have with us, Universal Mentors Association's very own, because he's been so kind in supporting us from a very long time, since the time we were in we started our journey. Mr. TJ Gupta, who's the founder and CEO of Bachpan and AHPS group of schools, one of the largest chains of preschools and K-12 schools across the country. We have with us Dr. Tanu Manocha, ma'am, who's the assistant professor, IIM Business School. We have with us Miss Maya Mishra, ma'am, who's the principal of Aditya Academy School. I think one of the most renowned personalities in the West Bengal region. Miss Rupakatha Sarkar, ma'am, who's the principal of La Martine for Girls. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us uh, for this amazing session. We also have with us Miss Bhavna Dongardai, who's the principal of Bodar World School. Uh, Mr. R. Miss R. Anita, Chief Executive Officer of Soyam Kids Preschool. Miss Pubali Bhattacharya, Principal Seni Prep and High School, Khaitan Education Center from Kolkata. Mrs. Sarita Gomes, who's the principal of Marwari Vidyalaya High School, and one of the most very dear friend of mine, Mr. Rajiv Agarwal, who is trustee and board member of Don Bosco School, Kharagpur. I think, this is one of the most amazing. I think we've saved the best for the last. This is the 5th episode, and after this, we'll break and we'll join by next week of, further episodes of TalkEd series. Now, without further ado, without taking much of your time, I would like to invite Mr. Akash Gautama ji, who's the academic head of Q&I, to welcome the esteemed panel on the show.
Hello, welcome, esteemed panelists. On behalf of Q&I welcome every one of you to this webinar. Before starting to talk about the topic which we have for today's webinar, I would like to introduce ourselves as a company. So, Q&I is an edtech venture by Thomson Digital, which is by the promoters of India Today Group. Now, Thomson Digital have been in the field of education and technology for the last 50 years. And we have been providing content and technology solutions to scientific, engineering, and medical community globally. So Q&I is basically our offering for the Indian students looking for a future in engineering and medical fields. So now, coming to the topic, today we have importance of promoting students' mental health and well-being in education. See, this topic is of very significant importance. The reason being because student mental health and well-being in education is something that we have to promote. Especially in the school and colleges, it is definitely very essential. But when I'm talking about the students who are actually aspiring for these competitive examinations, which are neither in schools nor in colleges, and they are in between. So the amount of pressure that they feel in terms of there is no certainty as in where their career is going to go. So at that important juncture or venture, the importance of mental health becomes very, very essential. So as we embark on this journey of knowledge and growth, we also have to understand that we have to create a nurturing environment for the students, which is not only conducive for them to achieve excellence academically, but also we have to make sure that their fundamental to holistic development is also given a priority. And it is not a responsibility of an individual. Rather, it is a responsibility as an educational society in terms of the faculties that we are, the educators that we are, the schools, the colleges, and everyone, parents also have to play a very important and responsible role to make this all work. Now, this is just my opening remark. I'm sure that with the esteemed panelists that we have, we will have a lot of more insights on this. And then I invite all the esteemed guests and honored educationists to share their views and thoughts on this.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gautama. It was such a wonderful hearing from you. And coming from a technology background where major of the mishaps happen for students who are pursuing the particular course, especially the need for the science and engineering. Without further ado, such an amazing topic that we have. There is no better person to moderate this session other than Mr. TJ Gupta. Sir, I request you to please take this session away. It will be criminal of me for sitting here once again and having such wonderful educators on board and not allowing them to speak. So we'll see you at the I'll see you at the end of the session, and once we have done with the discussion. Till then, I wish you all a very, very happy discussion on this amazing topic. Have a wonderful one. I'll see you at the end. Thanks.
Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you, India Today team. I think I have been with Sandeep ji for almost like 4-5 years, and this is a great relationship. He keep on doing so many sessions, events, and I think all of them are amazing. So from here, I will take out the session. Thank you, Sandeep ji. I'll be back in an hour or so. So this is one of my favorite topic, talking about mental health, well-being, and probably I'll take it from a real life example. Recently, one of my friend got a divorce of about 24 years of marriage, and the reason of separation is quite unorthodox, or what we can say, not so amazing. The parents got separated because of their kid. They have a daughter of about 17 years, and the dispute among parents arise because of their daughter. Reason being, like, one parent is saying something else, one parent saying something other. Maybe that kind of what we can say frequency doesn't match, and at the end it become an episode where the parent got separated because of the kid. When I talk about the same, and when discuss the same with the particular girl, she said, like, mentally and physically I'm not in a position to discuss all these things. The things are happening from last 4 or 5 years. My mother is saying yes for something, my father is saying no for something, and vice versa, and all those things. So I think with these teenagers, especially from our age group of talking about 6, 7, 8 years kind of, and till they go 15, 16, 17 years, I think this is one of the major reason nowadays that our kids are getting into some dilemma and getting, and every day we keep on doing this thing. I'm also father of 2 daughters, 10 and 13, and I'm also facing these small issues, though we being an educator trying to sort them out at the best, but still age is age. We can't overcome, or we can't overlap the age, and of course with their body, with their structure, with their feminism, all things are going to change with time. So I think this is one of the most important topic nowadays, and we have quite a few panelists, and everyone is a gem of their own, running so many schools, running so many centers. We have so many students. So I'll start from here, and will be asking few options from all of the panelists, and we'll take it forward from here. So I think we live in a world where suicide is one of the leading cause of death, and we live in a country with more than 35 students end their lives every day. This is the data which is being reported. I'm not sure what is the exact number of data which is not being reported. I'm not very sure about that, but yes, 35 is the official number which is being reported. So my question from Dr. Tanu Manoja. Ma'am, do you think that promoting student mental health and well-being in education can help us change these tactics for good? Do you think that?
Yes.
Yes.
A very good evening to everyone, first of all, and thanks for giving me this opportunity to discuss on this particular issue. And in my opinion, what I understand is, if you talk about the well-being is a total well-being with physical and the mental well-being. And mental well-being plays a very, very critical aspect. And if you talk about a very critical aspect, so we need to find out what is the root cause behind it. So root cause, if we talk about the root cause of the mental health, if we specifically talk, these are the stressors. What stressors, like what kind of a stressors are they? Why this mental health is being impacted? So when we're talking about the stressors, it includes academic pressures. Sometimes students are not able to cope up with these academic pressures because the things have changed. The competition, every parents want that the child is to be an engineer or doctor or whatever. We don't ask our child, what do you want actually to be? So the academic pressure, the social challenges, like they are very fast. They compare. My mom said this, my parents, we are going into an international trip, but the other family can't go to an international trip. So again, social challenges, they feel that the ego has gone down, and moreover, the personal issues. So I think the main stressors of mental health are the academic pressures, the social challenges, and the personal issues which come into a picture. Now, how to overcome these? So if we talk about the education part, if we are all into an education sector, and we can really understand that why this student is not performing well, or is it he is into what kind of a how he's giving the answers and something. So can we give him that a kind of a supportive environment to help to cope up with these skills? Actually, it is these mental health will not only come in the school phase, but it will come at every phase of life. Today also, if we are into jobs, we also face these kind of mental issues. So what kind of a developing skills and coping skills we are providing, how much emotional resilience they are into, and what is the sense of connectedness? Today, the main scenario is you see the post on the social medias and everything. You find a child posting it that I was feeling lonely. So there is a sense of lack of connectedness, if I talk about. And lack of connectedness can be due to many reasons, both the parents working, or the student the child don't want to discuss with the parents, or parent and the family is not giving the time. So they can be the multiple reasons behind that. So we should focus, as a Japanese also says that we should focus on the root cause. We should, if we want to improve the quality, we need to implement these quality tools which were given by the Japanese. Basically, root cause analysis, we can say in this particular term, we need to identify the root cause, the stressors, and early detection and intervention is, I think, the most relevant part. We can recognize signs of distress. Moreover, reducing that stigma, that we should have open discussions. At times, we only restrict our students not to discuss about the things. They're not to discuss about the schools or the something. So there is again the stigma. Hame nahi discuss karna. At times, it comes into the picture. How you cope up? We should be giving a caring and a supportive environment. And of course, if the person is connected, the person is not lonely, and if he is into a good mental well-being, he can perform academically better. We should not create any pressure onto it, and we should collaborate it with mental health professional if it has gone beyond the levels where we cannot control about it. And moreover, not only the teachers, along with the parents, and if we need to tackle this mental health, be proactively and compassionately. The compassion is very much required. It is not that you were just asking. if you're not showing that compassion to a student, he will never discuss with you. He will never come up with the things, never feel a connectivity. So in our education systems, we have a better chance of positively impacting with the students, avoiding those stressors, which will actually it will definitely be reducing these statistics towards the improvement of overall well-being of society, not only for the students, but for a society as a whole. This was my views on this thing. Thank you so much. So you're muted.
Vijay, you are on mute.
I'm sorry. So, ma'am, great thoughts. And I'll take the key away as compassion and open discussion. Of course, this open discussion thing is a very debatable topic. Maybe we need to have another session for that. But I do agree, because nowadays, frankly, what I feel like, kids are not connected to their parents in a manner what we were into. When you were small, so we'll discuss everything with our parents. Aaj ye hua, aaj usne ye kiya, usne mara, meri geometry box chori ho gayi. All these stuffs. Nowadays, even the student doesn't discuss the numbers, what is happening in the class, what is the challenge they are facing, be it emotional, be it mental. So I think as a school, responsibility increases. So with this, my next question will be from Popali ma'am. Popali ma'am, do you actually think that school can foster the mental health and well-being of student? Will teacher training, parental involvement, collaboration with mental health professionals suffice? All these things, can actually school do something for this? Ma'am, you are mute. Please unmute yourself. Ma'am, you are still on mute.
Still on mute, sir.
Now it's okay, ma'am. You can go ahead.
Yeah. So good evening, everybody. So very interesting topic we are discussing today, and it is really important. Yes, school should play, and school is playing very important role into it. So first one I would like to tell, this is observation. Because when we are inside the classroom, being the educator or facilitator, first, each and every child should be observed. It is not academic observation. It should be the child, how the child is today, what is the mood of the child, and what the child is doing, child's social skill, and also the child is opening up or talking or not. Because when we are handling the kiddies, they are not confident about the confident, or they are not expressing their insight. And after COVID, this is the main problem we are facing. That these in pre-primary, they are not opening up and they are not mingling. So that if the teacher is observing nicely in each and every class, so we can make the whole observation sheet for that, and definitely that will be discussed with the parent time to time. Because in the classroom, how the child is behaving, or in the school, how the child is behaving, and also at home, that's how the child is behaving. We all are in same boat. It will be easier to help the child to open up or help. Is there any as such difficulties or challenges that child is facing or not? And the school, if the school is having whole child approach, not only academic report, it will be socio-emotional development and also physical activity. Because if the child is very happy and the child is very comfortable in the school, and also having very healthy bonding with the teachers and also with the friends, the child will learn more. And also, if the child is happy and the child is emotionally filled, mentally healthy, child will be participating in the physical activities. If the child is doing the physical activity, so the interaction, not only kinesthetic, the communication will be more. Next one, from the teacher's side, I feel, being the educator, we have to understand the cry. It is not only the cry, the child is the child's tear or not, but means sometimes they are not crying, but they are isolating, they are separating themselves and not mingling with their friends and all. That also, if we understand and if we communicate and if we give them the shoulder to listen their insight, and if the child is also comfortable in sharing how he or she is feeling, so definitely we will be in a position to help the child out. And next one, what is the spread the happiness, not only the academic pressure in every exam. That focus should not be scoring, the focus should be how the child is enjoying learning and also doing the peer learning, and also participating in different activities actively. So if that happiness we bring in the school, we are doing now, so we are finding the child's learning is effective, and also engaging them in different responsibility which the child is enjoying, and also the child is preparing their junior in such a way. Now next one is what we are doing, that the skill development. Child should know, the child should prepare to listen no. So every time it is not that whatever they will demand, that will be given at home. So that's why in the previous point I have told that if the parents and the school will be in the same boat, so we can also discuss the common way of common strategy to handle the student, that the child, that now in the school they are doing something and the school is just making the child understand in a firm way that it is not to be done, but the parents are complaining that the child is in depression because the child is not used to listen that kind of no from anybody. So that if we are in same boat, it will be easier for the child to know what is to be followed, what is not to be followed. And so if in a strategic way we groom the child, the mental health issues will be less, and also positive mental health program for the staff also, the teachers also. If they are, we conduct the program that some mental health program or training session for the teachers, and also for the parents workshop or mothers workshop. For that, it will be
let's keep it a little short because we have interesting topic and we have other panelists also. So I'll take it from here. Very well said. There should be a way of saying no, right? So no is no. Of course, if a parent says no, the child get frustrated and all those bala 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 bala, all these things. So very interesting point. I'll take. Excuse me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So very interesting point. We'll take it ahead from here. So my next question is from Rajiv sir, Rajiv Agarwal sir. So Rajiv sir, there is always a talk about like we should change the education system. The policy doesn't speaks about well-being. Now we have NEP, and NEP brings about changes mostly at school level, right? So according to you, is enough being done to eliminate the coaching culture in India, which is a major concern for student mental well-being? Thoughts on that?
So, Tijay, I think that's a wonderful, question. And I've had this itch for a very long time, to, address this whole coaching culture issue.
For some compliment, you have a very wonderful smile.
Thank you so much.
I need to copy that.
So I think, I will just share, my story, my own personal story. And the story is that I am a Calcutta boy who did his schooling from St. Lawrence High School. And the first time I heard about IIT was, so my mom is a Bengali. So in I don't know about other cities, but in Calcutta especially, you have this culture of parents sitting outside the exam hall and waiting for their children to get done with the exam and stuff like that. So my mom for the first time heard about IIT when I was appearing for my Madhyamik class 10 board exams. And then she told me, why don't you also look into what is this IIT thing? And so, when we talk about any such exams, and so that's when I started preparing for IIT. And I happen to have an amazing chemistry teacher. So he's Dr. S.K. Palit. So he, I used to go to his house every Sunday at 10 a.m. in the morning, and he would come with a cup of tea in his hand, and he would give me a few books to study. And after an hour, he would come back and tell me and say that, now ask me questions. And that was the whole process of learning, chemistry. So, and there was never any focus on any exam. It was just pure and sheer love for learning the subject through questioning, through curiosity and inquisitiveness. And so when I got through IIT in the year 2004, I could have taken a mechanical or some other branch, but I chose metallurgy and materials engineering because of my love for chemistry. So the thing that is, regarding this whole pressure that is built up today. So if you're aspiring for any elite institution in the world or in the country, which is IITs, IIMs, AIMS, the national law colleges, or in the US or any other place like MIT, Stanford and all, the selection rates are 1 or 2%. So out of every 100 applicants, you will have 1 or 2 people eventually getting in. And so the problem of stress, I don't think is why is the selection rate so less. Okay, elite institutions or they have that many seats, so that's a fact. So the problem, TJ, that I have seen over the last 2 decades is this whole mechanization of the process of preparing for these exams. So when I got into IIT, we were mostly surrounded by students who were truly in love with the subjects, who were, discussing about things, and it was not just about, solving problems. Today, what has happened is because of this whole, I would call it a nexus of coaching and the kind of way they have promoted the whole preparation for this is that they have templatized the whole process, that you have to become a problem-solving machine. You have to solve, there are these concepts of daily practice problems and this. So whether you love the subject or not, whether you understand the concepts deeply or not, whether you have questions or not, that is not very important. What is important is that you have to solve 50 questions or 100 questions every day. So that is taking out the whole joy of learning. See, exams are a byproduct. Exams are not the main thing. Your hunger for learning is the main, thing that drives you. So this is one of the things which I feel for which coaching institutes are majorly to blame, because they have tried to templatize the process, and our selection exams, which is JEE, NEET, or their question papers, their pattern is also to be blamed for that. I mean, I'm not saying that what needs to be done, but what I'm saying is that it has become a template which now people or coaching institutes have tried to crack. Okay. The other part which I agree with, both Tanu ma'am and Puvali ma'am is that there is a lot of counseling that needs to happen for the parents. So I told you, my mom told me, just check out what this whole IIT thing is. After that, my parents never got over involved in my whole process of what is Rajiv doing. Okay, they would just, so our parents had a approach where they were aware, but they were not so hands-on all the time. Nowadays, parents have more pressure and tension than the student. That, why is my child not scoring here, or why is he or she not doing this? Which has its own rub-off effect on the student also. And the last point there is that, there is this whole concept of linear path to success. So parents and again, the whole industry is promoting that if you do not get into IIT, if you do not get into AIMS, then you are not successful. We all here know that success in life is not linear, right? It's a lot of discovery, exploration. So this is something that schools and parents need to do together, that it's a process of learning. It's a journey of learning. Exams are milestones. See, exams are necessary. They are milestones in the journey of learning. So if we are able to create an ecosystem in the school, in the homes, where the child feels safe in failing and the child feels safe in exploring options, in that case, then the whole stress thing as the root cause of stress, as you know, Tanu ma'am was talking about, that I believe is one of the major root causes of stress. If we can remove that, then NEP being there in the schools, it's obviously going to do much better on that part. So I'll want to give one example here, because Rupkatha ma'am is here. We had I have myself taught around 25,000 students for science, maths, JEE and all of that. We had a student from Lamartine for Girls, Shruti, who is the daughter of Ratuli ma'am. And so our courses focus on helping students love science. So she is today studying in Europe. She's doing research in CERN, which is one of the leading research institutions in the world. And we have countless such examples. So the idea is focus on the loving part of things, focus on the discovery part of things. Exams will take care of themselves. So I think if we do that, then the whole coaching part can be, taken care of.
I think for our viewers, it's coming from one IIT that IIT is not everything. We should look beyond other things also. I have a live example over here, Rajiv sir. Recently, I met someone of about 55, 56 years. So the guy has two daughters. One daughter is an IITian, and other daughter is a YouTuber. So I was discussing what do you feel? The poles apart. So he said, my YouTuber daughter is earning thrice as compared to my IITian. She has more free time. She's going through more books. She has more time to watch Netflix and other things. She is actually gone to 12, 13 countries where my IITian is just addicted to her own ecosystem. So I'm not discriminating between IITian and other things. Yes, a simple choice for a parent, for a school, for a teacher is there. What exactly you want to bring onto the table for the student? मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ पेरेंट्स आर देयर इन माय स्कूल्स कि वो जो टॉप के 4-5 बच्चे होते हैं ना, इन क्लास इफ देयर 40 स्टूडेंट हो, वो 3rd 4th 5th तक वाले बच्चों को कभी दिक्कत नहीं होती. दे हैव देयर ओन करियर्स, राइट. उसके बाद जो अगले 5 होते हैं, देन 5 to 10 अगेन वो कहीं ना कहीं इन्वॉल्व हो जाते हैं. द प्रॉब्लम्स कम विद last 15, 20, where they need a direction to do whatever they want to do in their own life. So if the schools change the psychology from focusing only top 5, 10 students to other 20 students, they might have a better career. At least they might have a suitable career after 2 years, 3 years, 4 years from now. So I think the key here is to get the right assessment and right balance between the student and his mental condition, what technically he's going into. So taking from here, my next question is now the discussion.
So TJ, one of the things that one point that I wanted to bring in here, when you're talking about the coaching culture, when we talk of getting rid of the coaching culture, I have been through that whole process. I have been to IIT Kanpur. I've been through that whole process, just like Rajiv and Akash as well. But I feel that getting rid of the coaching culture is akin to a case where you impose curfew when you're not able to catch robbers in the city. So coachings do exist and they prosper because other systems are not focusing, or they are not solving the problems that are required to be solved, or what the demand of the students or parents is. So the truth is that the students trust these coachings, right? They do go, they do pay a lot of money. They spend 12 hours in the school system, but they trust the coachings where they have to spend 2 years more. We should ask why. So that is one question, even from the perspective of Q&I, is what we were trying to solve. So when we were coming up with the idea of a solution, so we have been through that whole process. So we know exactly that the safest place for us was the school, but we were forced to move. We are from Patna, we are from Bihar. We have to migrate to places like Kota and other places to actually prepare, because that's the truth of the whole scenario. We would ideally would have wanted to be in Patna. So we have to make sure, we have to come up with a solution that complements the school system. We plug in the gaps that exist and try to make it a more robust system so that these things do not happen. And the coaching culture is automatically going to die off and the pressure is automatically going to reduce with the changes such as NEP and other things that come into the picture. So that's my limited interjection here.
probably the your next series should contain a session about coaching also. It's again a big session, and I think it's very useful for parents also.
I would just like to, second what Anurag is talking about here. First thing is coaching is, so I prepared for IIT without any coaching. So I have hundreds of examples of students who do not go and pay lakhs of rupees to coaching institutes and are still able to make it to the top institutes. So eventually any mentoring organization or a coaching institute's role is only 1 or 2%. 98% is the student's effort and what they have to do. The second thing is the problem that is happening right now. Why I'm calling out the coaching industries, because they are now starting to come up with dummy schools. And this concept of dummy schools, if you have seen Kota Factory, which was earlier only limited to Kota and some parts of Hyderabad, are now becoming a national phenomena. So how how Anurag and Akash and everyone, we need to figure out how parents are being, I would use the word brainwashed, to get students to leave the entire school ecosystem, which is 360 development, extracurriculars, and then go into the confines of a place where all you're doing is just morning till evening you're preparing for one exam, which is completely robbing them of their best years, I would say. So these are so Tijay, yes, we could definitely have a complete session of.
So we're talking about changing the education system, changing the entire scenario, and we always blame that government is not bringing that policy. NAP has came out now, with NAP everything has been changed. But what I feel, my next question is from Anita ma'am. So ma'am, this is on the same thing. Do you think that teaching mindfulness and various other mental issues practiced to students would be effective unless the current education system is changed? Do you really agree with this theory?
Yes, sir. Very good evening to all. Sir, first let me just brief what is mental well-being, because I don't know how in general people are understanding. For me, mental well-being means always being happy, okay? In any age, irrespective of the age, they have to be happy. And then that happiness will come only within ourselves, and we can alone create our own happiness, or we can alone destroy our own happiness. So I want every child to understand this, because everything from the childhood, if we inculcate all these things and all, if we train them in that manner, they have to see everything in that way. Like they have to create their own happiness, and they have to see that they are not destroying it. And for that, we have to teach them, like seeing a situation, and they have to respond to the situation, not react. Usually people are reacting, and emotionally they are taking decision. This kind of education we have to give to the children, and I don't think that will happen with the current education methodology, because we are like always concentrating on marks. And as the previous gentleman discussed, this coaching centers, it is fact, sir, true. Almost my own, because I am running a preschool, I'm the CEO, and also I'm a principal in a very reputed school in Chennai. And here I have my 11th and 12th children who are now completely losing their school life, because namesake they are coming to the school, but parents are concentrating only on this, preparing for JEE or NEET, etc., etc. And if I ask about any marks, less marks in the other subject, they say that we don't bother about the school marks, and we want them to get the 100% marks in this coaching, whatever they have selected. And they are not allowing for any other event. See, sir, my humble question to the society is, like, we train them like animals. Okay, even I can train a dog or a lion to jump in between the fire. and they get say lakhs and lakhs salary after finishing college and getting nice job. And after getting married, what if no, if they get divorced within 2 months? So we are creating such a students alone. So here I will say that this topic is extraordinary topic, sir. We have to concentrate more on this mental well-being thing. So here, no, both parents, teachers, and also this educational system, we have to join hands together and find some other solution, like the marking system and the importance of memorizing. And just always I used to say to my parents and students, you people like vomiting. Okay, whatever is there in the book, though they are not understanding, if they write 100 times again and again, they will get thorough with that and they will write it and they will get full marks. But there will be another child, the child will not write that complete answer 100 times, just 1 or 2 times they will read, but they will understand complete concept and they will explain very beautifully, but they may not write it in a proper way. That child will score very less mark. So this and all only happening because of this education system only. We have to do something on this.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So we always have a belief that if something is not good with us, let get exported. We have iPhones, we have branded handbags, we have branded TVs, we have branded. So I think India is a country where brand is important, but not the domestic brand, right? This is true in all the senses. Talking about education, we just discussed about Japanese system. We discussed about other systems also. We discussed about Singapore model. We have the Finland model. So my next question is from Sarita ma'am. Ma'am, do you think if we bring the Finnish model to India, will it going to work in terms of mental health, well-being, sophistication, lessen down the pressure? Do you think that it would help out? And can we really implement it in India? Or else, is there any requirement of doing it? Sarita ma'am, you are on mute.
Hello. Sir, I'm sorry, sir. Here it is raining heavily. I
Okay.
couldn't get your question properly.
Okay. Ma'am, I'll repeat it once again. My question
Yeah.
is very simple. If we bring the Finnish model or the Finland model to India,
Okay.
would it reduce the pressure on the parent, on the student, or on the entire education system? And do you think it would actually work out in terms of bettering out the mental health, well-being? As the Finnish model says, there are no private schools, students are not getting given much homework, it is more of a practical base. So my question is around this Finnish model.
So sorry, sir. My video is not coming. Let me just
No issues. You can speak
give
about
my
it.
views alone. Yes, sir. Sir, it is not like that. We have to follow this other country format alone, and only this exam pattern is wrong, and what other country is following is correct. We can go for the new way, new methodologies, sir. Because children should learn to live in the society and adjust with the people. For that, they should have experience. Many like knowledge is nothing. Repeated experience. When we do something, we will get knowledge about that particular thing. And we cannot learn everything by our own experience. We can learn from others' experience. So now, if I say like we will frame some new kind of education system, no, apart from the so-called methodologies and all you have said, I personally feel that we should improve the reading habit. We have to bring they have to read at least 3 hours per day. And what they have to read, how they have to think over that reading, and how they can implement that in their day-to-day life. This we have to guide. So that is what I'm coming to say. Instead of like giving the prescribed books, and content, asking them to memorize. We can go for like selecting books and asking them to read and discuss. Sir, this one I'm doing it in my school. In the experimental process, no, I have formed a committee, like we are having a youth parliament. So with the lower class students, you will not believe, sir, 6th standard students are performing, if they ask some questions, my teachers are blinking like anything. And how they are asking is, we have kick-started, like one book we used to select and we will tell them to read for the whole week. And every Saturday, they will sit and have group discussion and debate. And we are from Tamil Nadu, we have a one-to-one debate. Usually debate means like four one side and another side, four people will argue. But like court argument, we will select one topic, one will talk for it, one will talk against that. So we will ask them to prepare their own points and explain, and I will make sure that whatever books I give, it is a combo, like about the moral importance, and how they can improve their skills, in which field they are good, they should know that skills, and the attractive stories, and the achievers lifestyle. So this kind of thing, see, I will concentrate only on giving knowledge in reading and writing, Tamil, Hindi, English. That is more than enough for a child. After that, I don't want to teach anything. Let them read by themselves. When they ask question, I will explain them. And they will implement, sir. Really, sir, we got surprised like anything, because now this is technology word. Only one topic if you give, they go home and Google like anything. They explain a lot.
Let's get it from here. Your understanding is maybe on your own manner, and we are discussing, we discussed about the technology. So interesting question which is coming for, I'll ask this question from Gomes ma'am, Sarita Gomes ma'am. Ma'am, can actually technology do something for this? Do you think technology has a role in uplifting all these things? What are thoughts on this?
Hello, good evening, sir. So when we talk about the technology, so I basically feel that the technology have really now, from the COVID time, it has covered all the things, and the people around has become very smart along with the kids. Would we say the pandemic has made everything go ahead? But I basically feel that this is the right time when the world has become so advanced, and why not India? And our kids are quite bright to, do many things where their talents can't be measured like that. But this was the one way where we, they have engrossed in it, and they have really learned about it. The AI, which is coming up, and it is already there. When we talk about the advanced technology in the classroom, we talk about the technology in the hands, we talk about the technology around, which has now become a part of the life for the kids. So looking ahead, to make the teachers, we always say that why not only the children to be this? So I feel first the teachers and then the kids. So training accordingly has to be given to the staff as well as the kids. Then they learn and they can be more enhanced.
Right, ma'am. Right, ma'am. Right, ma'am. So yes, tech might play. Yes, tech might play a bit of role, but still we feel, as a teacher, as a parent, as an educator, as a maybe friend, we need to be more focused on getting the job done of our near and dear ones. So with this, I'll come to my next question, which is from Rupa Kanta Sarkar ma'am. Ma'am,
one small thing, TJ.
Yeah.
One small thing, since we are talking about technology and we are a technology firm, I think there is a lot that technology can do. From the perspective of these competitive exams and the stress that they bring along, I talk from that perspective and not the school education perspective. But what I would say is that for these competitive examinations, there have been n number of suicides that have been reported. And two clear things that I saw in the suicides that happened during my tenure or during my study period was that the stress was not just about academics, but also about the financial pressures. So these were the two things that predominantly were the reasons why students committed suicides during our times in the campus. One reason, the academic pressure, is because you treat everybody to be the same, and only marks becomes the guiding light for who you are. I mean, how good you are. So by technology, using appropriate technology, we can personalize this education, make it as suitable for the child's learning level. And that is where technology has a good role to play. And the second thing is, technology can be used to scale education and bring it at a fraction of a cost of what it is being offered in these coaching institutes or any other offline mode of education, where you have to have these logistics, infrastructure, and everything in place. So technology can actually alleviate the stress through solving for these two problems: academic pressure by personalizing, and secondly is the financial problem by making it more scalable and less costly.
Very well said, Anurag sir. And in fact, my next question was on that topic only. We always say that a child doesn't have support, right? Technology is there to support, but I don't find a suitable environment in most of the families right now where a child can get relevant support in terms of school, maybe home, society. There's too many pressure from the society also. That बच्चे के number अच्छे नहीं आए. You are a 85 child. You are a. I was not a very bright student. I was about 80 kind of numbers, but I passed in 2000, year 2000. Nowadays, if you say about 80, so for even that's a poor child. For me, 8 out of 10 is a good number, frankly, till now also. And I always say to my kids that it's a good number. Every child can't be get. Ultimately, what's your personality is count the word when you seek into. So we need to work on the personalities. Of course, there's no doubt about this. But again, I'll say this is a very interesting session. Maybe we need to have another 2-3 sessions, keeping technology, keeping pressures, all those things. So my next question from Rupa Kanta ma'am on this same topic, ma'am. Ma'am, what can be done to foster a supportive and understanding environment for student at home, school, and society?
Thank you so much, Mr. Gupta, for this wonderful webinar that has been organized by QNI. And I've been hearing all the speakers who have spoken their mind and have given such nuggets of gold for all educators and edutech companies who are looking into holistic education. I think, society, home, and school have to work in tandem. Not one factor can work in isolation to produce a well-balanced child or a personality. When the child enters the school with a lot of hope from the parents, the school is the most important stakeholder where the child has to develop with care and love. And the role of the school is to see where the potential of the child is, offer opportunities, equal opportunities to all children, and then nurture them. Now, there are different ways of doing it. You can offer many co-curricular activities like our school does. So after classroom teaching, the school becomes vibrant. After 1:30, after 1:40, when there are clubs functioning, children are debating, painting, dancing, singing, taking photographs in the campus, and learning so many skills of life. When we train the children in holistic paradigms, I think the child becomes happier. The child understands the value of him or herself. This is the most important aspect. Do I recognize my worth? That I am worthy, I am precious, and I am unique. There is not a single one in this whole universe who has my fingerprint, not even my twin sibling. So that means I alone will have to fulfill the purpose for which I'm here. So as educators in the school, as parents in the, at home, and as the society at large, make the person feel his or her worth. And marks don't define anyone. We all know, we've just spoken about suicides. We've spoken about well-placed individuals in different corporate ladders who are trying to climb in the rat race and end up miserably on their face. You ask their family, they're not happy with that person. And that person, him or herself, is not happy with oneself. So what is the use of this kind of salary, work, education? So we have to work together, make the person feel his or her worth, open opportunities, listen to the person. Do we listen to the child at home or in school? We in school are busy to finish our curriculum and our syllabus. At home, we are very busy to implement what we want from the child. And then when the child grows up, the child also demands things from society and is not ready to listen to it. So I think we need to be compassionate, to listen to one another, give space to each other. And I have students who are they are photographers, they are wildlife photographers. They brush shoulders with David Attenborough. We have not asked them that what corporate ladder you have climbed. They're very happy. They're roaming around in the jungles. They're taking pictures. They're filming. And they receive Oscars. So my point is, when a child plays on the field and comes back home dirty, parents ask, what did you study? Never ask the child, how much did you play? What did you play? They never ask. And they then come back to the school and say, not enough is being done because you made my child play. What about team skills, collaborative learning? You work in any corporate office. If you don't have team building and team skills, you will never be successful. So I think as a society, we have to create opportunities. We have to have safe neighborhoods, employment opportunities. Don't only look for jobs, create jobs, entrepreneurial mindsets. And also create communities who are cohesive. In our city now, we have started something called Kolkata We Care. People from all walks of life have joined. Why? They want to help their city. Religion, caste, gender does not matter. So everyone feels worthy. That is how we create mental well-being from a child to the adult. Thank you.
Rajiv sir, Sarkar ma'am, Calcutta rocks.
Thank you.
I'm coming from a principal like you, and especially being a girls' school principal is a very big thing for me. I understand running a girls' school is entirely different from running a co-ed school, because I have two daughters and we are running 200 schools all across India. And there's different kind of pressure on girls when it comes from the parent side. So great to listen that. We always speak about volume of school effort into everything, the pressure, and but actually the pressure comes from so many things in the school itself. Be it bullying, be it cyberbullying, be it the peer pressure, be it the number pressure. So how do school can address these issues? This is my question for Puvali ma'am. How do your school address these issues? Puvali ma'am, we can
just a minute, sir.
Okay.
Till the time she speaks, can I speak one thing? I want to add something what ma'am just now said.
Please, ma'am.
Please permit. Whatever she said, I totally agree with her, and we are all into a same boat, kind of that like there should be a passion of doing things. Once we are passionate about the things, we actually go to an extent, and we need to identify, we need to create that passion of a child, because see, she's giving an opportunity to the student that you have different clubs, you participate in that, and that too is in the colleges also, that this is a math club, or this is a marketing club, or this. So we create a kind of a passion in them, and that club, that passion actually creates an entrepreneur mindset that you want to do that. And now when the students come to a postgraduate level, when they're doing a PGDM or MBA courses, they realize that marks to koi puchta hi nahi hai. What about your 10th mark sheet, just as a proof to your identity? What about the +2 mark sheet? Ultimately, when you enter a job, that is when you move from campus to corporate, the life is totally different. Nobody is bothered about the marks. Matter is how much you are earning with that passion. Are you doing that work, or do you love it, or whatever you are doing, what you are being forced to do, you have to do it just to earn money. So it really matters how passionately you are doing, because that creates actually a sense of mental peace also in you. Along with the output is everybody wants to earn at the end of the day. And these students are the youth. So we need to create a passion, not in their mind that you need to score more than 95%. You have scored 85%. This is the less. And the one thing more I have observed, that this is the Gen Z people, they are having less concentration. Like we used to read for long hours, like today also we can sit and read for hours, but the focus, the concentration level today is very less. So we need to create a passion for them, ki how do they think things more, and that is why the curriculum is being transformed from an academic regular to the small bits with videos, audios, so that they remember the concepts and the things. So thank you so much.
I think how the pressure comes, there's Rajiv sir to answer that. Rajiv sir, I have two friends, both of them from IIT. They've created and they've started their entrepreneur journey 4-5 years back, created 2-3 companies and got the funding. So I think now the definition of getting educated, be it IIT or be getting good numbers, there's a assumption, I'll say assumption, that those who have clicked IIT or have good numbers have ventured into this capital world. They can create a company, can get 100 CR, 200 CR within next 2-3 years and get away from all these things. So what's your thought on this?
So
this is out of the topic, by the way, but just to
just speaking about so because I've been an entrepreneur for 14 years and bootstrapped one at that. So I have not raised any funds, and just talking about what Rupkotha ma'am and Tanu ma'am were talking about is we have to be very comfortable with the whole idea of failures. So when you are an IITian, that IITian tag, or for that matter, any tag, whether it is from any, prestigious college, it only stays with you for the next 1 or 2 years. After that, you have to make your name through your work. And if you are passionate about what you're doing, as, was being mentioned by ma'am here, and if you are happy doing that, then, you will be successful sooner or later. So it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. And money is a secondary thing. Just like in school, if you love the subject, marks are a secondary thing. If you love what you are doing, money is a secondary thing. The impact, the work that you're doing, how it is impacting people's lives, that becomes your cornerstone. Answering your question of all of that, that bubble is already burst for edtech. And, and the simple mantras of running successful institutions are, focus on who you are serving. At the end of the day, we as educators are all serving our students, and everyone else is a stakeholder around them, parents, principals, teachers. So we need to completely focus on the well-being and ensure. I really love what Rupkotha ma'am said. Ensure that our students feel safe in identifying and realizing that they are unique individuals who are there to thrive in this world today. So that's my take on that. I hope got somewhere into that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for the theme. So, unfortunately, with the limit of time, and I think the time being done, though I don't want to end this session because we have such a wonderful team and doing wonderful discussion. But over to Anuragji. Anuragji, from here, you can take it forward. You have every thought to discuss and openly if you want to ask anything or you want to discuss anything with any of our fellow panelists. Your turn now.
Sorry, were you referring to me?
Yeah, Anurag sir.
Okay. So no, nothing. So it was actually on behalf of Q&I would actually take this opportunity to thank everyone. And there are a few questions that we also as an edtech company are taking to the schools. So as I had earlier also mentioned, that the focus for us is not to build solutions as a parallel structure, parallel educational structure. We feel that the schooling system is the most robust system that exists, and we have to look up to it. And we have to complement or plug in the gaps that exist to cater to the students who ultimately are the people who we are going to serve. So all our solutions, etc., that we intend to build or are building are built with a vision that it complements and not competes with educational structure. So that's the overall idea from the Q&I perspective itself. Yes, we are into the JEE and NEET preparatory segments for now, and probably into the board examinations as well. But the focus always has been students, and it has to be done through schools and not by building a parallel coaching structure. So that's the whole idea about Q&I. Yes, a special thanks to TJ sir as well for moderating and making the session very purposeful here. And if Sandeep is also around, yeah, Sandeep.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, thanks for hosting the session as always. And it's the energy that you bring in initially, and then the energy and the interactivity that gets carried forward that helps these sessions become successful. Thanks to Rajiv as well for giving his insights and all the other panelists.
Just a small complaint. Just keep the session for 2 hours next time. We need to restrict ourselves.
Actually,
all of them are principal and teachers. So we have a habit of picking more. It's a 40-minute class for all of us.
We were conservative because we know that the teachers and the principals, they have been through a very long day at school, and it's already like the end of the day. So we have to be cognizant. We have to take cognizance of that fact as well. Maybe someday when we do it in the morning or on a weekend, we'll have it for 2 hours for sure. So some of the key takeaways for us was that holistic development of the children at school, where they forge healthy connections, both at home as well as school, is a key to improving mental well-being of the students. Learning should not only be about scoring, but also about enjoying the whole process of learning. And it is important that we as a society become more cohesive and compassionate to listen to our children and understand them better, so that they feel worthy, and then they can open about their problems and become more successful. As we draw to the close of the session, we feel that each of our panel members here, who are experienced educators, and us as an organization that is dedicated to improving learning outcomes for children and also for empowering teachers through technology, we have a lot of common ground to explore and collaborate in future. So we look forward to connecting with everyone present here offline at a time of your convenience to take this discussion forward. Once again, let me thank everybody here for taking time out for this session and making it very interactive and purposeful. In case you are interested to know anything about Q&I, we'll be sharing a virtual kit over email to you, and a certificate of participation for this session will be couriered to you at your physical addresses as well. So with this, I end my thank you note. Over to you, Sandeep, for closing this.
Wow, such a wonderful, wonderful discussion that we had today. I was at the back end listening to everything that has been going on. And TJ sir, thank you so much for being such a wonderful moderator. I especially liked the session with Mr. Rajiv Agarwal, and really how you dodged the questions with the funding and stuff. It was a very well said remark out there, and I truly believe that the peer pressure these days on students is immense, because whether it is being successful as a engineer or a doctor or an academically or being a YouTuber, everybody is having a mental pressure to succeed and to make sure that everything is right and they are on the right track, making money and stuff as well. So it is an immense responsibility on the educator as well to make sure that the students do not fall on those rat races at a very early stage in their lives, and that's why the topic was such an important one. Thank you so much for this amazing session, TJ sir. Thank you for moderating.
Thank you, everyone. Thank
Rajiv
you.
sir, Dr. Tanu
Thank you.
Manucha
Thank
ma'am,
you.
Anurag sir, Ms. Puvali Bhattacharya ji, Sarita Gomes ma'am, Roopkatha Sarkar ma'am, thank you so much for joining in. And the others who had joined and left, thank you so much for being a part of this amazing webinar series presented by Q&I. And as said, if you want to reach out to Q&I team, you'll be receiving an email very shortly, and you can, ask them to come down at your place, and they have some amazing solutions to offer to the schools. Thank you so much. This is Sayonara, bye-bye, only for a short while, and episode 6 with Q&I Presents TalkEd series will soon be live. We'll keep you updated on the next episodes as well. Thank you so much. This is Sandeep Gulati signing off on behalf of Universal.
Thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Really a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thank you.
Same here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.